Aloha, everybody. Kamaka Brown here with the Sandwich Island Social Network. And, really excited about a special guest today on the Aloha Friday show. A friend of mine, love this brother. And we're going to talk story with him from his home in upcountry Maui. While you're looking at the screen right now, next week, Friday, we get brother Rusty Komori. He was the head coach of Punahou boys varsity team for 22 years, 22 consecutive state championships. Brother is amazing. That's next week, Friday, on the Aloha Friday show. Today we have Hawaii's John Cruz, singer, songwriter, storyteller. Oh, he brings all kinds of good stuff. You're listening to the music of Brittany Paiva. Sister Brittany, mahalo for letting us use your theme music, your music for the theme of our show. And good times. Right now, in the green room, he waiting in the green room, smokain. We get smoked marlin from Big Island. We get one sushi platter in the, we spare no expense, in the green room for our brother. Right now, all the way from his home in Maui, upcountry, is no other than Brother John Cruz. What's up, Brother John? Double shaka. I should say. And by the way, you're just showing off that Maui skies, and but that's just cruel and unusual punishment. You know that, right?
But I'm spoiled.
I should say.
Straight up spoiled. Yeah.
Okay, in the back of me, deep in Palolo Valley, we get the Menehunis, and the Menehunis always like be part of the show. I must tell you, what they do is they have the porigi conch shell to welcome our guests, and so we get two of them. We get brother and his wife. So brother blows first. That's the porigi conch shell, and then his wife also like be part of this, so she blows her conch shell. There you go, brother. So you got
right.
You got the official Palolo Menehuni welcome.
Right on.
So okay, John, Palolo boy, where in the valley you guys was living with your family? By where was you guys?
On Ahe Street. For the most part on Ahe Street. In the housing project right there.
Okay. I don't know if you ran into
New Jersey Avenue once or twice in there,
Yeah.
They were shifting all around, in the housing. It was shifting around.
Yes, you may have run into some of my cousins, the Faustinas, the Hongs, the Niesmans,
sure.
The Staskos.
For sure.
Deep in the
Nathan
valley.
was my classmate.
Nathan.
Yeah.
I was just up their house about in April. Him and his brother Milton, their mother and my mother's sisters. So this guy's first cousins.
Oh wow! Right on. He's still up there in the valley.
He's well, I think he would move, but Milton is still up there. I was at Milton's, and yeah. That's the Hongs, man. My Korean cousins up there, man.
That goes deep.
They go deep, bro.
Yeah. That's getting caught. 6th grade. Us guys getting caught by the principal doing stuff we shouldn't have been doing. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And the Niesman. My family is pretty close with the Niesmans too.
Yeah.
I played at Cheryl's celebration.
Yes, Cookie, my cousin Cookie. In fact, I saw Daryl, her husband, on Kauai in June of last year, I love brother's music. He's playing a lot of music still yet. Yeah, on Kauai as well.
Yeah, I love his music too. I love jamming with brother.
Yeah. You give me chicken skin. You talk about my cousin Cheryl, and because again, that's my first cousin. Cheryl's mom and my mom are sisters. Yeah. So
my brother Ernie was real close with Glenn.
Yes.
All growing up.
Oh wow. Bruh, we could spend time talking about our collective ohana because you had big family too, right? You had 11 kids in your family.
Actually 12.
12. Oh, okay. Yeah.
5 boys and five boys, 7 girls.
Yeah. And you
You know,
guys you guys was brought up on a
every
musical.
one of them trying to steal my gigs too. I tell you, everyone. I gotta be on my toes, man.
But music was a steady diet for you guys, right? I mean, your dad, Ernie
Oh yeah,
Cruz Sr.,
yeah,
Hawaiian country music, deep, 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 deep
yeah,
legacy of music, yeah?
yeah, 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 yeah. My dad was so we got spoon fed, the country classics growing up. My dad was sort of like the pre Kenny Rogers country kind of stuff. Merle Haggard, all that Tammy Wynette, George Jones, that stuff. We had a steady diet of that stuff growing up. Um, of course, and playing with my dad, through the years, being a member of his band occasionally, that was always a blast. Always so special to share the stage with him because he was such a great singer. My dad was such a great singer. You know,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So music was just a part of you guys' DNA already. I mean, everyone brought up on music, but
Mhm.
not really Hawaiian music at your house, right?
No, not really Hawaiian music. It was like I said, we our house was the place where everybody brought their records and you could play after school, because our house was always like the gathering house, huh? And yeah, we would just be playing. There would be something on the turntable all the time.
Wow.
Uh, my mom was really into a lot of the soul singers, Motown and Aretha, Gladys Knight, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, all that stuff. So we listened to a lot of that stuff too. Uh, and besides that, just the radio. Um, what was Casey Kasem, man, on the weekends,
Oh,
seeing what the
American
top
Top
10,
40.
and of course Kamaka Brown and all
Come
of the local radio stations there at the time. But yeah, pop music, basically, the radio stuff.
on. Hmm.
I had friends who all they listened to was Hawaiian music. You go to their house, that's all they would play. The parents and stuff would either have the radio on or they.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And so it was contemporary pop music is pretty much the music that
contemporary.
was trying to
Yeah,
get. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then of course all the back then the contemporary Hawaiian music that was coming out on the radio too. Country Comfort, Olomana, C&K, of course. That was a steady diet of that, and the singer songwriters, Kenny Loggins Messina, James Taylor, uh, you know, Carol uh, Carol King,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You
uh,
know, interestingly enough, yeah, John, conversation with Henry Kapono, yeah, and people would say, "Oh, you are 100%, you Hawaiian. How come you didn't put out Hawaiian music?" And he said, when I was growing up, I wasn't listening to Hawaiian music, and plus there were so many others that were brought up on Hawaiian music that do it so much better. I'm doing the music
right,
that I grew up on, right? So it's kind of similar to
right,
yourself, right? Because
yeah, for sure,
even seeing K wasn't Hawaiian. I mean, they came out with contemporary island music, and that's what filtered in your head, I think, right? As the music
for
came out.
sure, for sure, which was like a combination of everything I was listening to,
Yeah.
because that's it's interesting. I get asked that question occasionally. If I play Hawaiian music, um, I usually say that, well, I'm Hawaiian, so anything I play is can be considered Hawaiian music. You know,
It's
because
true.
I'm of Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm of Hawaii, in Hawaii, for Hawaii. So it's a interesting thing. I know. Last time we was up in California, the last tour, these two older uh, ladies, they came to the show, and at the end of the show, I was in the back taking a break. I was having a cigarette in the back, and they were leaving, and I saw them in the parking lot. So they said, "Oh, we really enjoyed it, but you really don't play Hawaiian music." Those are two older Haole ladies. We were expecting the kind of music that we heard when we went to Hawaii.
Uh,
And I was like, well, sorry about that. But I mean, they enjoyed it, but they were thinking that it was gonna be. I don't know what they were thinking, but you know, it
yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't that. Yeah, it's the perception of Hawaiian music too is interesting. Because when I first moved to the mainland when I was 19 years old, um, I was trying to find my way up there musically, yeah. And so, like, auditioning for bands, like I'd see, like checking out, the classifieds and stuff, just trying to find people to jam with. Uh, that show up at an audition and like, I'm trying to find a common ground, of what I can play to audition, and they're calling out songs like, oh, this Aerosmith song or this, which everybody should know. You know what I mean? Like if you were raised up around there, then and you're trying to get into a rock band or some band, you should know this Led Zeppelin song. You should know this. And I was like, well, I'm familiar with that song, but I've never played it. So it was interesting trying to figure out what to play. And so I actually ended up gravitating towards more of the the black music. That's the first band that I joined when I was up there was like a funk band. Because I was familiar with those songs. With the funk songs and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's very interesting. And then Hawaiian music, of course, people at least people my age who were in that sort of like rock sort of scene. Uh, all they knew of Hawaiian music was it was, and it was sort of they would speak of Hawaiian music disparagingly. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm,
Like it didn't that, that's all they knew. That's why
yeah.
oh Don Ho ha 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 yeah and that stuff. So it was interesting just trying to find a way to find the common ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
to relate because music is a language, huh? And so just
Absolutely.
trying to figure out what language we can speak that we can understand each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have quite a few friends that are dropping in and they want to say hello. Let me see. Um, my wow, we have quite a few here. Heke Ole. She's saying aloha kako, love John Cruz. All right.
Ooh, awesome. Yeah.
um, and who else is jumping in? Oh, here's our good friend Muriel. Kahala, she's saying aloha. There's
Aloha,
Muriel.
Muriel.
Ah, and let's see, there's Laura. Laura jumping in. Laura joins us quite often, and she is right now in San Diego. She is
Mm,
saying aloha. You're going to be down in San Diego. We'll talk about that later on.
yeah.
In the month of May, Laura, you're going to get a chance to see John and the band live in Laura. And Laura is saying, by the way, I met John 2 years ago at Waikiki Shell for the 50th anniversary of CNK.
Oh
Aha.
wow. Yeah.
Lara was there at the Shell. Um, Boy, they're coming in really, really fast. They're coming in. I don't want to. They get mad, if I don't recognize. Hey, we was on your show. So, hey, calamai, bro. I gotta scroll over here. Marty
Oh no.
Burns.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Marty Burns says, Aloha Friday, everybody. Oh, brother Marty Burns has broke the malt bakery. The brother can bake. Oh,
Oh.
brother is
Okay.
brother is happening with his broke the malt pop-up bakery. Um, Hey, talk about one heavyweight. Talk about Kavika. What's up, Kavika?
What's up, cuz?
I think he stay one. I don't know if he's traveling or he's in Waimanalo. But what up, guys? Aloha Kamaka. What's up, Johnny? Kavika
Brother
Kahe.
Kavik.
Woo! But a Kavika with his baritone, man, one of the original
Oh
King's
yeah,
King's Own, right? One of the original
yeah.
King's Own. Oh my goodness. There is brother Charles. Oh, Kupahu. They're talking to each other. You see,
Hey,
our gang, they talk to each other, but they're saying aloha to each other. But brother Charlie Kupahu lives up in
right.
Santa Clarita. His family from Waianae side. That Charlie. And let me
Right.
see. Uh, I'm just scrolling really fast. And his brother, Lomi Lomi Kaomi.
Hey,
That's my
what's
classmate
up,
from
Rodney?
that's my classmate from Roosevelt, Rodney.
Oh yes, your classmate.
That's my
Oh, good
classmate.
brother.
That's
Yeah, I see him last time I was up there. He always lays his hands on me, boy. That's awesome.
I get one right now. Hey, Rod, I get one kind of right over here, bro. Can loan me a little bit, kind of smoke eye, smoke eye. He's saying,
Yeah,
it's Lomi Kaomi time for you when you come back to San Diego. Mahalo for
that's
including
right.
your backup crew for a break. He goes, chiropractic, man. That's our brother right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All these brothers looking forward to seeing you. The gang is looking forward to seeing you, brother.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
and there's Greg Lum. He's another musician. You heard you talk about Marvin Gaye. He goes, "What's Going On" was a great song by Marvin Gaye. Whoo,
Oh, one of the
yes.
all-time greatest.
Mer- Mercy, Mercy Me. Oh man.
For sure.
Uh, here's
Yeah.
a here's a Pu'uvai. Aloha from Orange County. Watch you perform at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano.
Oh
The
yeah.
the fly song is my favorite.
Right. Right.
Oh, the fly gonna die. The fly gonna die.
That's
That
right.
bugger. Oh, soon he start walking on my Kalamun guy. That's it, man. Um,
That's right.
Kalvika is saying, "Brah, anything you play is Hawaiian. Hawaiian.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
Amen." Let's see. Um, here's NTK Bennett. She goes, Brother John, you do you. Yeah.
Yes,
ah,
I can. Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here's Kahi Au. She's here in Southern California. Aloha Kako. Happy Aloha Friday.
Aloha.
Uh, Aloha Kahi Au to you and your ohana. And let me see. Oh, here's Johnny Rocks Hollywood. What's up, Johnny? Love John Cruz. He is on the island on Oahu.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comic over there. And yeah, I think we caught up. I think we caught up pretty good. I want to talk about when you moved to the East Coast. You didn't really have music on your mind. You wanted to get into politics, political science, something about the United Nations. What was that about?
Well, I was at UH Manoa for two
Hmm.
years, and in high school I was just surf, smoke marijuana, you know what I mean. And so when I got to college, um, that's when I really dove into school, yeah, and started trying to figure out what was happening beyond the islands, um, and uh, had a few good professors that you know were inspiring, and you know I ran for uh, the student council at UH. I was I got elected, a senator, and so that was my sort of little walk into politics, just campus politics at the time, and it and just seeing how things worked, how uh how your voice can be heard, in the bigger picture of things, and I was just really inspired about trying to make a difference in people's lives, as far as and I figured out that the best way to do that is is uh, is changing policy. Being involved with policy and changing laws, and just trying to make sure that people had a voice, representation, and you know the biggest form of that, I guess, would be the United Nations, because they supposedly, you know, make policy for the
For the
world.
world.
And yeah, so that was for a while. That was on my mind. Uh, I figured to make the biggest difference would be, getting there and trying to figure out how to make the world a better place. Um, that lasted for a little bit. That took me to the East Coast. Ended up at University of Massachusetts in Amherst, and got more involved with uh, political discourse, and ended up getting inspired by the music, the people I met up there musically, and I got into theater, I got into dance, all these aspects of performance, and for the most part, uh, it was all politically themed stuff. I was with this organization called the Third World Theater, which we later morphed into the New World Theater, which is a theater group that uh, we performed material written by and about people of color. Because when I was at the Manoa, you know the 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 plays that would come up and stuff, really didn't have parts for me. You know what I mean? Oklahoma. They're auditioning for Oklahoma, and I'd be like, huh, you know, um, you know, yeah. So it was eye opening to get to uh, possibly have a lead role in something, as opposed to you being the Mexican guy who, whatever, just these little roles. Ended up meeting a lot of the Asian. My director up there, Roberto Uno, who was incredibly inspiring. Um, she's now the head of the Ford Foundation, actually. But anyway,
Wow.
uh, uh, she has ties to Hawaii too. But yeah, it was just my eyes got open to bigger picture, because in here in the islands, even though like in the United States, as far as like that 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 whole concept of the United States, were minorities, right?
Mm.
People of color were considered a minority. But here in Hawaii, I'm a majority, mama. You know what I mean? I'm not a minority, you know, sheer numbers wise. You know what I mean? So I'd never been, growing up here, I've always been the majority, in the majority in numbers, but not in power, you know, because the power is held here by, you know, the Asians and the Howleys hold all the power politically, financially. Um, so moving up there to the East Coast was the first time where I actually was a minority, and I felt what it was like to be a minority, you know. Um, so that was eye opening, you know,
Yeah.
uh, to be to see what how you always read about that, you always hear about it on the news, you know, but to fully experience it was interesting, especially with my name, John Cruz. People just assume I was Puerto Rican, or or whatever, right? shit, I used to get people get pissed off at me, Latinos, because they would be like, "Hey, Cruz, hey, Juan Cruz." I'd be like, "Oh, no, 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 español." I'd be like, "What? No español?" Like I was trying to deny my roots or something,
Learn your language.
But it'd be like,
Learn your language.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, Hawaiiano, Hawaiiano, okay, never makes sense.
But you,
Yeah, so that really and then so the group that I uh was drawn to was, of course, always the artists, musicians, artists, because the artist community always is accepting, yeah, big arms, big wide open arms, and uh politically, and spiritually speaking, just people who aren't white, because that's who I was a part of. I was being a part of that people, and that's how I was treated up there,
mm-hmm.
and you really feel the difference when you're up there. And so, anyway.
But John, I'm thinking now, you coming from such a deep musical background from your childhood, your mom, your dad, the music, and now you're on the East Coast. There's all this political things that are going on and stuff. And it seems to me, and Kahi'ao says something here. She goes, music is a powerful vehicle for policy and change. Um, did you see now with that awareness coming out of the islands, and now with all this background of stuff you're absorbing on the East Coast, and with your music in your soul, in your DNA, is this now swirling up inside of you?
Oh, it's always been inside of me. Back then, it was even more so. I was back then. I was when you find yourself awakened like that. Of course, and you're surrounded by people who are in the movement. I was around people who were actively trying to uh, express these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So of course that rubbed off on me, and uh, as you get older, you know what I mean. You choose your battles, and you know you try to be effective, the most effective in the way that you can, yeah, with your skills, with your mana, with your you know hopefully with your little bit of brains that you've developed,
Yeah, John,
and so.
you had once said that at one point you thought change could happen from the top down, which is why you got into politics and of the United Nations. You thought,
Exactly.
and then the change, or you kind of morphed into or grew into realization that it came from the power base. You should come from the people and go up that way. Is that
Exactly. Yeah.
rise up? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you want to affect change yourself,
Mm.
you know, change the people who are around you, change the people in your community. Try to affect changes right where you're at that can immediately
Mhm.
um, affect, people's lives.
Yeah, yeah. Here comes Bobo Miles. Bobo Miles is a good brother of mine. He lives out in Haleiwa. What's up, Bobo? He
Hey,
say he's a
what's up?
he's a school teacher out there. He's a uncle. He says Uncle Johnny Cruz. He's a Kolohi
What's
guy.
up?
I love brother Bobo over there. Thanks for dropping in, brah. We appreciate that. Good to have you along. Um, and Kaiao says, Uncle John, did you easily adapt to playing funk and R&B and soul versus classic rock? Do you have a favorite genre? Oh, good question. Good question.
Um, Truthfully, I never really adapted to the playing the rock. I mean, I played in a heavy metal band when I was at UH Manoa. Believe it or not, I was singing lead vocal. My mom used to call it screaming demon music. You know, I think I was in that band just for piss off my mother. I think, you know, uh, yeah, because no, when I first went up to uh, to the East Coast, I had a meeting with the advisor in the music department at UMass. So he asked me, well, what are you trying to do? I said, and back then I played mostly bass. I was mostly a bass player, actually. Whenever I played in bands, I was mostly playing bass. I always played solo acoustic guitar. I've always did my little solo gigs. But as far as playing with other people, I was mostly a bass player. And so, I had seen myself. I was just trying to talk story with the advisor there, trying to figure out what were the options. I thought maybe if I got good enough with, I played a little bit of upright bass then, starting in high school, back in Kaimuki High School. So I thought, as a bass player, maybe I could teach, or I could, try to get session work, eventually move to New York. My plan was always to move to New York eventually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to get what I could do to get there, And the advisor told me, well, I'll tell you, the best advice I can give you is, you want to learn how to play. I was telling him, yeah, I want to, I've always wanted to play blues. I've always wanted to explore reggae, funk, all this kind of stuff. He said, well, the best way to do that is to play it, get in a funk band, get in a reggae band, get in a blues band, get in a rock band, as many different styles as possible. Get in all those bands, because if you want to learn how to play that stuff, you got to play it. So that's what I did. I was in some hard rock band. I was in a reggae band. I was in a funk band, and you learn pretty quick when you get thrown into, tossed into the pot, So that's basically what I did. And because I didn't grow up listening to rock and hard rock, I mean, I heard it, on the peripherals, but I was more steeped in rhythm and blues, soul music, and of course acoustic music,
Yeah.
Hawaiian music, acoustic string music, acoustic guitars, ukuleles, and banjos, mandolins, and just being from the countryside. And all my cousins on the mainland, my dad's side of the family in California, all play country music, bluegrass and stuff, But that's whenever I go to the mainland. Well, I got that show coming up in September, a bluegrass festival up in California.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're coming up on a break, and we're going to just take a little break. But before we do that, I just wanted to share. I know that when you moved back from the East Coast back to the islands, you had already started to write, which is pretty much an anthem, an iconic anthem, island style that everybody just loves and plays here on the continent and back home as well. However, your brother Ernie Cruz Jr. at the time, of course, he was with All Crater Boys with Troy Fernandez, and you started playing with some of the gigs, either opening or doing their breaks or whatever when you came back, right? With Ernie.
I was playing bass. As soon as I got back, I was the bass player.
The bass player. Well, I know
they never had a bass player.
It was just the two of them, yeah, just the two of them.
Two of them with the percussionists.
Yeah. So I know you lost two brothers in pretty close succession. First Ernie Jr. And then Guy, followed by Guy not too much longer. But before we go,
later.
Was it 2 days later? Oh my goodness!
2 days later.
Yeah. Before we go on a break, I did want to just give just a little bit of recognition to the wonderful music of your brother Ernie Cruz Jr. One of my favorite songs, and then we'll come back. So if you just joined us, we are so blessed to have John Cruz hang out with us from his home and upcountry Maui on the Aloha Friday show. We will be right back.
One day soon the sun's gonna shine. You be mine until the end of time. We will soar and yes, we will fly. One day soon, you and I. One day soon I'll wake up and find your loving smile ever on my mind. Whoa. warm embrace, a warm embrace. Yes, my love, one day soon. Each I pray you'll come back to me and open up your loving arms. Oh, oh. Baby, you are my destiny. Feel you on my moment's charm. One day soon life's gonna change, and you and I will be as one again. Whoa. We will soar and yes, we will fly. One day soon, you and I. Hey.
This song's called It's Time to Build a Bridge. It's time to build a bridge. I've heard some instigations spun by different situations lead to altered information. It's time to build a bridge to our posterity, spiritual prosperity. It's time to build a bridge. Yes, it's time to build a bridge to our humanity, not based on our insanity, reacting to calamity. It's time to build a bridge, a new way of meeting you, helping when there's things to do. It's time to build a bridge. Here we are, all different kinds of equals, here to build a bridge. We the people, we who will be acting of our own free will, across the chasm slanting down that long green hill. It's time to build a bridge. Invite creation, extend an open invitation to our future generations. We can see it through. Together there's so much we can do. Our horizon's always something new. It's time to build a bridge.
Ooh, more than ever before is that song so poignant and so applicable, huh? Yeah, my goodness. Where did that come from, John?
Come on, people, it's time to lend a hand. If we build this thing together, united we will stand.
Indeed.
Okay, we give it a try. Look me in the eye. We'll make those rainbows in our minds, because I want to spend. Yeah. That song was co-written by myself and my co-writing partner, this guy, Mark Herschler. I've been writing songs with him for 30 years. That came out of the first time we went through this. It was in the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic. He'd called me. We talk, a couple times a week, working on songs and just, whatnot. but he called me. This was and he just said, "Hey man, the country was in such a sort of like now, divisive.
Yes.
Everybody was pitted against each other. We had the pandemic, which was also very confusing and hard to get information. People were at each other's throats, just about the most simple things. And this song, we had started writing it about 10 years before, never quite finished the song. So I was talking, he said, "Hey man, might be a good time to finish that song, time to build a bridge," because we had new stuff, there was a new situation that it would appeal to. So yeah, so we finished the song and I ended up recording it and releasing it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
You pull from your side, I'll pull from my side. You give from your side, I'll give from my side.
Everybody pull their way.
I'll share from my side. We'll find the difference between us is not that wide.
Amen.
Yeah.
You have been connected with so many wonderful organizations with music as its core. You had mentioned in several of our conversations about and I have them right here, the Mana Ole organization. Tell us about your connection with them and what they do.
Mana Mau, it's an organization. I'm actually the board chair. I've been the board chairman for this organization for many years now. Been involved with them for over 20 years. So Mana Mauli, my executive director, Keola Nakanishi, the first charter school that was offered in Hawaii, the first charter, he got it when he was 23 years old. So we opened the first charter school in Hawaii, Halau Kumana. It was a Hawaiian-based, cultural-based school, kindergarten through high school. We also had it wasn't not a total immersion school, we also started a va'a program, teaching kids how to sail, and getting them closer to just trying to get kids to get into their culture,
Mm-hmm.
And Kanehunamoku, we had a va'a, and since Halau Kumana has since gone off on their own, Kanehunamoku va'a program has gone off on their own. The third part of Mana Mauli that we focused on was music, and that's through Mana Mele. Mana Mele is a program that's administered and run by Mana Mauli. So we have a 38-foot Airstream trailer that we bought with a grant.
Wow.
That is outfitted with video and audio. It's basically a studio on wheels, production studio, video and audio, and we teach kids how to do that.
Wow.
Let them, record and do videos, and we teach in the schools. We service Mana Mele services a bunch of schools throughout the state, Hawaiian-based charter schools.
Mm-hmm.
With music programs. We provide teachers, mentors, a lot of the people in the music community. We have them go into schools and mentor kids. Some of them are full-time teachers, music teachers in these schools, and just promoting a culture, Hawaiian music of Hawaii.
Beautiful.
Something that I've been. My brother Ernie was a early supporter of Mana Mauli, also, as well as my brother Guy. Always been involved with that program, and we're still still going strong. We don't know what's going to happen now with all the cuts. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
now we're racist apparently. You know,
Oh.
organizations like us are considered racist because we
Oh.
only focus on Hawaiian. We try to focus on Hawaiian culture and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out. But we don't know. Literally, our last board meeting 2 weeks ago, we don't know if we're going to be able to continue because of the cuts,
Right.
the federal grants that we've received, and that's kept us going all these years. So,
So for our friends who want to learn more about Mana Maoli, there is .org. That's them, and there's also another organization that you have also been associated with, and this is a Turnaround Arts at the Kennedy Center, John. And how does that also? I mean, this is Kennedy Center. Uh, Tell us about how that
that's another
connects
one
with
that's
Hawaii.
going to be. That's another
Yeah.
one that's just that's very we don't know what's going to happen with that. That
Mm,
as you know, Trump took over the Kennedy Center.
mm,
And, Turnaround Arts. Anyway, it was started by Michelle Obama.
mm,
Um, dear friend of mine was chosen to administer this program. Uh, who I met in college. Uh, 30 years ago. Wait, 40 years ago. Dang,
wow.
40 years. But the concept was that through the arts, because throughout the years, the first programs to get cut out of the public schools is the art programs. They're deemed not as important as math, reading, and these things, science. Uh, but the concept with Turnaround Arts was if you incorporated arts back into the public school system. Well, we don't know what the public school system is going to do now, actually, because that's going to, we'll see about that. Anyway, if you incorporate arts back into the schools, then you can turn the school around, particularly in challenging communities. So the first 8 schools that we tried this program with were all in communities that were, uh, in very difficult neighborhoods. Were in places where it was almost 100% minority students. We had a school in the Bronx. We had a public school in Chicago. We had public schools on 2 reservations. And 2 of the pilot schools also were in West Side Oahu. One in Waianae, one in Makaha.
Wow.
So we actually found out that when you incorporate arts, if you teach math using the arts, kids are way more involved. You teach science using art to teach it. That's basically the concept. What we found out was that it doesn't only turn around a student and get them into learning, it actually turns a community around. Because in order to administer this program in a school, we train the whole staff. The principal's got to be in on it. All the teachers have to be in on it. And we as an organization go in and we train the administration and the staff, the teachers and everyone, this program of how to teach using the arts. And it's a proven, method. Um, everybody's on board. The whole school is on board, and it just, I mean, it's amazing to see the change that happens in a student's life, in a class's life, in a whole school's life. And of course, you're affecting a school, you're affecting the community. That's one of the, programs that, both of these are uh, music is a beautiful thing, simply for the joy of melody, harmony. You know, we've been given this gift, you know, of music. Uh, but when I, you know, as far as like things that I'm proud of, you know, these are things that are right at the top, you know, of what I've been able to affect with my
Bruh,
music.
bruh, can tell the passion that you have for this, man, and you're sharing your mana'o, bruh, on that above and beyond your music. You know, this Fly Gon Die and Island Style and Shine in Sitting in Limbo, all of the beautiful music that we so much enjoy. The treasure part of it all is getting to hear you and what is close to your heart, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing your Ike on that, John. That's
You know, another thing
that's huge, bro.
that I've been a part of, another organization that I've been so blessed to be a part of, that I'm another one that I'm so most proud of because it's affected so much change is this organization called Playing for Change.
Mm,
Um, they do
yes,
videos around the world, and
love their stuff, love their
another one,
videos.
another organization that you know, yeah, it's to be able to be a part of that program. Mark Johnson, the brother who, you know, started the Playing for Change videos. He's a recording engineer. He engineered my album One of These Days. That's how I met him.
Wow.
Back then, he had just about to release the first Playing for Change videos, and that organization has gone on to affect a lot of change, like all around the world. You know,
Some
so interesting.
beautifully produced pieces of music and video on Playing for Change that I've seen. It's gorgeous stuff, man. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Here's Kai
So yeah,
Al.
what they do for that is, you know, the community that they go into and film at. You know, they're building wells, they're digging wells in Africa, they're building hospitals where they need them, and teaching music in these places and
Whew.
providing them instruments and providing them money to staff these places. It's you know, that's as far as you know, things that that I've been able to be a part of, that I've been blessed to be able to be a part of. Just, you know, unbelievable. You know,
Here's Kai Al. She goes, "What is one piece of advice you would have given your younger self?" Ooh, good question.
ooh. um, Try to stay focused.
Mm,
Stay focused, and try not to get distracted. You
yeah,
know, by
yeah.
the many can distract us. You know, uh, because we as humans, you know, we're easily distracted, and
Mhm.
it's so easy for us, especially when people perceive you as being, you know, something. You know, here they come with their distractions and their um, uh, you know, people always want to be a part of something. Yeah. So if they feel that you got something going on, you know, of course they gravitate towards that, and not all the people are have good intentions. So just try to stay focused on what you're doing. Yeah,
Stay,
not to let them the distractors with
stay
their distract.
focused.
Yeah,
Focus,
yeah.
Daniel San. Focus. Side, Daniel San. Focus. Focus.
Focus.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Before we go, we have a few moments here, and I did really want to share with all of our Ohana your California tour that's coming up, and I want to put
Hey,
this. I want to
right up,
put
couple
this.
weeks.
Yes, sir. I want to put this up here, and I think Carly says Carly says I'll see you and Laura Barrow May 1st at Belly Up, and there you go, at Belly Up in
Hey,
Solana Beach. There you go,
yeah, that's the first. Oh,
and then you're down in
first.
Santa Barbara. Then you're
Sylvain.
Solvang, and then I will see you May 4th at Irvine in Berkeley. We have tickets for that. We're going to come hang out with you, brother. Uh,
Awesome.
and then you're in Santa Rosa, and then you go up Northern Cali up to Freight and Salvage. That's a nice spot in Berkeley.
Yeah.
All the Northern Cali ohana up there. On the upper right hand side of your screen, you guys, johncruz.com is his website where you can go and get all the information. You can also download, streams his music, and all the information about John is there. And the things that we talked about today was so amazing, so wonderful to get to know you, John, and your passion for uh, just reaching out. And I want to show just this one picture here. And they say a picture says 1,000 words here. Tell me what this picture says to you.
Oh man, that's so awesome. That's right here at the Va'ahale in Lahaina.
This is little
Yeah.
Kaliko, little
Little
Kaliko.
girl came, this little girl came by. We were filming. We were actually filming this interview, and her and her mom saw us there, being filmed, and her mom brought her over, and she said that that her daughter loved the song Island Style. So this is right after she played Island Style for me. This little girl, so awesome. What you see behind you is Mo'olele, which is Hokulea's older sister. That was the first va'a built in Hawaii.
Wow.
It was being rebuilt then by my cousin Timmy Gilliam, who he has the va'a, the va'a that's part of the Polynesian Voyaging Society. Anyway, that we lost that in the fire. We lost that. It was just about to be. We were just about to relaunch that va'a in October, and the fires
Wow.
took it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a special little moment,
That
And
was
of course, now I've seen that little girl grow now. When they come to shows now, she's getting bigger and stuff. And, yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to say that on this tour, I'm touring with a trio, myself and Blaina Singh.
Oh, Blaine.
People are familiar.
Molokai boy.
Been a part of my band for a little while now. He's just fantastic. And I didn't know at the time when I first met him, but my brother Ernie actually mentored Blaina Singh when he was in his teens.
Wow.
Blaine's dad used to drop off Blaine at my brother Ernie's house for the weekends, and he would just spend time with my brother Ernie when he was 10, 11 years old. My brother would teach him music, hang out. So it's awesome because he has that mana from my brother,
Wow.
But I'm also going to be with another musician from Maui here who I've been playing with for a few years. His name's Steve Sargenti, multi-instrumentalist. He plays harmonica, guitar, mandolin, and whatnot. We're really looking forward to coming out and playing these shows. So please come and join us.
Absolutely. And our production assistant for he's our talent wrangler, Nate Jones. He's the one that puts it all together here for the Aloha Friday show. He says, mahalo
Awesome.
for coming on the show, John. Enjoyed the campaign Hawaiian Airlines did with Island Style. I have an autographed copy of Acoustic Soul. Ho, Acoustic Soul. Ho, brah. That just went boom with Acoustic Soul. That just went
Awesome.
always over here, man. What a fun time. Here's another musician, a good friend of mine, plays good key. Slack key. Tidan Hofstad, Aloha Kamaka, and John Ahui Ho. Brother is a dear friend of mine. And if I missed any of the comments, E Kalamai was coming up real fast over here. But we love all of you for jumping in and being part of the conversation today. I just have one question over here. And this is from me, John. And the song
Not
Island.
What's the question?
Not guilty. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You know, in the song Island Style, bro. Huh? Island Style. You know, Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice, yeah? Beef stew on a stove, lomi salmon with the ice, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, where the chili pepper water and where the kimchi? Go. Okay.
Right. Right.
You know, and by the way, the community bowl of poi in the center of the table, bro. You always got to kahi the bowl and eat clean. Okay. You
Right.
got to kahi the bowl, boy. Okay. You get
That's right.
wax.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Uh,
I
I
know
had
the good old days when you would get cracked for doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Now he's not getting cracked. That's why they all. Anyway, that's another.
That's- Brother John, thank you
I
so.
met you. I met you. Must have been 25 years ago, easily.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes,
Right.
yes. We did a wonderful show up in Santa Barbara. We stayed in that house overlooking the cliffs, and it was a beautiful weekend up there. In fact, one of the brothers that was with us that weekend just popped on a little while ago, Bobby Agnew. What's up, Bobby? Yes, we have crossed paths several times, Brother John, and it's so wonderful to just talk story with you, man. It's been really nice.
Yeah, you MC that one. Yeah.
Again?
I think I might have met you maybe at like one of the Aloha festivals or something. Even before that, I think when I was with Kyle Crater Boys.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, yes,
might
yes,
have-
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, brother, thanks for having me. You know, thanks
Up-
for spreading the Aloha
Absolutely, absolutely.
up there.
Us guys want small opihi on a big rock, but we're doing what we can, brah. We're doing what we can over here, you know.
Hey, not bad for Palolo,
Not bad. Okay, Brother John. Brother John's going to go into the green room right now. We're going to say mahalo to everybody. We see you next time on the Aloha Friday show, brought to you by the Sandwich Island Social Network. Ahui ho, everybody!
Yeah.
Thank you.